Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the front. It's FPL Frontline Prediction League in the trenches with your co-hosts Scott and BeerMeJesus. How are you, champ?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's really, really cold here, but other than that, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. It's not as cold here as it's been. The last week or so, it's been kind of the 0 degrees Celsius for it's like minus 32, I think, Fahrenheit. Um, the week before that, was around like minus 30 degrees Celsius. And
Ooh.
with the wind gets closer to minus 40, and I always love the joke when someone said it's minus 40 and someone goes, "Is that Celsius or Fahrenheit?" Doesn't matter. Because it's about the same around that point, minus 41. But yeah, it's been a little snowy today, but it's nice otherwise. No, it's interesting because we can update people now. We have a little bit more time today. But if you remember back on the old Jobber Radio Frontline that we did, JRPL Frontline, we would give kind of a COVID update. Like, oh, how's the city going? Well, I mean, Canada's got a full lockdown now. The borders are pretty much closed, even more than before. I am working from home now myself. I wasn't before. Recently, that's a thing now because the way the government in Ontario is. And yeah, how's things in the States? Oh,
Right. It's COVID and new president, and
yep.
it's getting crazy, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy times.
Yeah, it's good to have some stability back with the FPL. I'll say that. As chaotic and insane the workload was to get the Rumble booked and the results and get these shows going with the production stuff, be it the logos or the sites, the channels, all that stuff. It did take a bit, so I'll just throw that out there right now. Follow us on this YouTube channel, subscribe to it as well, like and favorite the video, all that fun stuff. If you want to. If you don't. I'm not going to be that guy to say, oh, do it anyway. If you like it, go for it. It helps, but don't do it if you don't want to. But also follow us on Twitter. It is all in the description down below. You can follow myself and BeerMe there also. And yeah, if you join our Discord, which is where you get to see all this fun stuff, like the link to this results page for the Royal Rumble, you can join in and see what I feel, BeerMe, is some insane level of character chat. There is some amazing stuff back and forth just with a community that's already built up. A lot of it's kind of transposed and kind of come together, but that's the point. It's a melting pot. And it's a lot of people talking about a lot of cool stuff. Wrestling. There's the odd stuff here and there about things that are tangential to that, but yeah, it's up and running, and it's going really crazy, really quick. Just from my perspective behind the curtain, I'll save more of the behind-the-scenes stuff for the next War Room that I do with the guys, but this kind of exceeded even what I was hopeful for, because I was hoping for a good turnout and a good end result of the start, if that makes sense. But it blew me away with just the level of engagement, the level of promos. Like within a half hour, there were 2 video promos after the Rumble results went up, like already recorded and like reacting to things that were written no one else knew. So yeah, it's another level compared to what we wanted. It's what we always wanted, but I didn't think we'd have it for show number 1, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Live event was pretty poppin'.
Yeah, live event was really good. That was.
Yeah.
That
I wasn't
was
around,
nuts.
but I was in chat, and everybody was going crazy.
Damian Priest.
Yeah.
We knew you'd be happy with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, our live event chat as well. We talked through the Rumble, and you actually get to hear us talking about the Rumble itself and how that's going, but also our event, because we're going over who's in the lead, who's winning, stuff like that as the night goes through. And you get stuff like CT doing horribly to suddenly kind of making a run for the Rumble and a question or two different, and he would have won it. So
Yeah.
it's pretty nuts. As you can see down there, it says quick results. Pain's there. CT didn't win it. You didn't win it. I didn't win it. But yeah, you picked him.
No,
I picked Tino because but I wanted Payne to win, and he did. Let's dive into the Rumble. The event itself, like our event, that is. with the results and everything, I presume you've read the results by now. You've seen
Yep.
everything there, including the Rumble match
Yep.
itself.
Yep.
What was your thoughts overall on everything that went down with the winners and stuff? Were you surprised by anything? Any?
Um, I I feel like a lot of new people won on this show.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. Like I know that Casey Warden beat Arbiter,
Yeah, yeah.
and what else have? Oh, OVS beating the Reaction. Um, just stuff like that, or like new people with their new personas, like James Costner, who does not suck. He won. And Sebastian Escobar, who is
Yep.
Santos Escobar, which is amazing. I love that.
Yep.
He won. Yeah. And CT's not sliding. He's sliding in the win
No,
column now, so, you know.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll save the reason why things kind of happened in the Rumble for the War Room, because that'll be a fun discussion as to like why
Yeah.
why did CT last an hour? Why did OVS do this or FBU do that? Like we'll save that for later. We'll just kind of talk about what it was.
Mm-hmm.
The overall thing, though, that I had the goal of, just to give an idea of what we're going to talk about on that eventually, is to make sure that everybody has a cool spot. I said that coming in. That was my mission statement from the get-go. I wanted to make sure everybody looked good somehow. But it's also going to be a Royal Rumble, so you're going to get people to come in and get tossed pretty quick. And that didn't happen until like the latter half, even latter third, I think it was. That happened suddenly. And it happened for a couple people, and it was like storyline based for some. I only lasted about 5 minutes myself. I was the first one out. But again, the story, the luck of the draw, because it was who was in, but then also when they were in. And yeah, that was a huge, fun aspect of things to really play with it and kind of do things that were unexpected. But also very expected. And that, I think, was the key in that we were doing, yes, our first Royal Rumble, establishing who all these characters are through the card. Like, normally I'm running a few matches. I only wrote my match and the Rumble. The CT and Red wrote the rest of it. There was stuff establishing characters there with the different guys back and forth, but with mine it was kind of like, it's 30 people potentially encountering each other for the first time. What do you end up with? And the new guys were some of the most fun with that. But then when like Broken Nerd came out, all bets were off. Like if you haven't seen it yet, there's a Spotify playlist I made that we've linked as well. It's on Twitter and all that, of the theme songs of all 30 entrants. As close as I can get. I couldn't find the Rene Dupree theme for Matt, so I used a similar one. More on Matt. More on Matt in a second. But I put the buzzer in between, so it goes, and then the song plays. It's just a cool thing. Been listening to it all day. And what's silly about that is every time Broken Nerd's theme song hits, I get amped. Like it's like one of the older Rumbles, and like the American Badass Undertaker comes out. It's like, oh, here we go. Like not to discount the other people that were in there, but this is bad. And then yours hits, and then Bastion. Or Pain, sorry, and then Bastion. It's ridiculous. So it's that moment of like I could visualize it, him coming out on the bike as the music's playing, the crowd's going nuts. The people in the ring are like, oh, okay, yeah, let's go, and it just happens to be that way. So I'm proud of it. I do want to dive in, obviously more. We'll go in order. So we will start with the Rumble itself. Let's not waste time on that. The winner was Pain. The winner of the Rumble was Pain. Who surprised you in that? Because you picked Pain, you can't say he did. I can't even say that because I was hoping for Pain. We're Beer Me and I are big fans of Pain. If you go back to GRPL Frontline, you know that we were pulling for Pain a lot, and this is awesome. This is kind of that like new start. He's the first one out of the gate for that. That's really cool. I like that a lot. But who were you surprised by in that? Anyone kind of catch your eye?
I mean, gonna have to say probably CT. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
CT. I mean, Sebastian Escobar was the second to last guy getting thrown out, so I like that. RGX, I feel like he did really well. So I mean,
And Rate Russell, actually. They
I
came up pretty close to each other. Rate Russell was number 3, but he
yeah,
went out with RGX around the same time, so yeah.
yeah, him too. I mean, with the Rumble, like you said, nobody really had a bad. Like even like in like the regular matches, nobody had a bad showing. It
No.
wasn't like, oh, this person got just absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
But
Well, and that's something too, with like, because Ace High, we were all excited for Ace High because he came out in the middle of Murderer's Row and he's a new guy. And
yeah,
it's like, but he also scored the worst out of anybody in the Rumble. So I went, oh, if anybody's going to go quick, it's going to be him. But I had him
right,
in his minute 55, which is an approximation how long he was there, but a minute 55 seconds is the official time. He did a lot. He almost like took 3 people out. He was hard to keep hold on. Like it's immediately you can see like, okay, if he gets his footing,
hmm
that'll be a threat. I want to give everybody a shot, even in a moment like that. RGX, I mean, we wanted to have him with Orstella, but Orstella was like number 27. Well, all right, you're in there for the long haul. Let's go. Stuff like
right,
that. So yeah, and Escobar just became the one. It was like when I'm pairing people off, he was the odd man out. So that was a bit of a sneaky kind of bastard sort of thing, eliminating people, chop
yeah,
blocking people. You never know where to expect them,
hmm
and it's by virtue of that. So was CT. So that was a lot of fun to set that stuff up. Payne obviously got the most eliminations because he won. So he started tossing people at the end. It was like a 2-way tie for third, I think. So
James
insane.
Costner costing JD stuff was
Yeah.
really cool.
Well, after JD power bombs Buck to the floor, which
Yeah,
again, JD was only there for like 2 minutes. He was up before the next entrant after him, but he got an elimination, made his point, and he got taken out. But I mean, Costner cost him. So there you go. We can see
yeah,
what happens from there. And hey, James Black, I remembered your name. I even wrote that in as a bit of a thing where you're like, you'll remember my name. So yeah, I got you. Having written 20 pages of everybody, I got a good feel for at least these guys. There's some people who aren't in here that
right,
I'm like, who's that again? I know who OVS is. I know who James Black is. I got an idea for these people now.
right.
Out of the gate with that, though, if anybody does not like where the characterization went, let me know because we'll make sure everybody gets you on board. If you want to lean into certain things, like Cammy wanted to be someone who is kind of like a female Mankind, so I had her get the crap beat out of her and keep taking it. Okay. McKennedy was kind of a big bruiser. All right, well, we need a big man early. He's the guy, and he was kind of surprised, but he loved it. Cool. All right, that's the way to go. And based on their descriptions, like Ray Russell's a technical guy. Okay, well, so am I. So that'll be a thing where we get interaction and just to go from
Yeah.
there. So if you have any ideas for that or want to like lean into stuff more, go for it. Let us know, and we'll happily incorporate that stuff as best we can within reason. Like if it doesn't make sense, we'll still try to figure it out. But there's give and take with that.
hmm
The Rumble itself, I'll be honest, it was a lot of just determining. Like the last 5, I think, were based on points. Everybody else was kind of fair game because you weren't winning it. So we
Right.
went with what worked for story as far as for pairing people off like that. Again, a little bit of war room talk there, but it was kind of myself part of it with the guys throwing ideas around. And I wanted to play off either existing stories or set stuff up that has quite literally 0 story because maybe you get one out of it. And already Cammy's cut a promo on Alexander McKennedy who eliminated her violently. There's a story. Like we got one. That's one there. And FBU versus OVS, you guys versus them is like it's the elite team who went down to the creatures. More on that later. But also survived and fought back against this new monster team of 5 with 3 in the Rumble. So to do things
hmm
like that to really make sure that everybody looks good, not just here's the veterans, cool. I didn't want that. I almost had more fun writing the new guys, trying to get them in line with the veterans, but then obviously the veterans do what they do, like Broken Nerd. Not to discount the prior 16 people, but like I said before, this is a serious problem. Um, I think I'd say we'll talk about the Rumble. We have, but we're going to go in order of the card as we scroll through here. But the last thing we'll talk about before we really dive in more is the surprises. You didn't really do any guesses, did you, for the surprises going in?
No, I don't think I don't. No, I don't. No, I didn't.
No, we didn't talk that. I think it wasn't fully like secured or whatnot, but oh no, because you were just like, oh, who knows? That's what it was.
Yeah.
Competitor W and competitor Y did not make it into the draw, but we revealed who they were on the event. W is Lucian Hollis, who has a valet. I think it's Elena or Elena. Forgive me for not getting. I didn't write you yet, so I'm still learning that name. But he's kind of this kind of big, rugged, howling at the moon kind of guy. So he's there.
Yeah.
And competitor Y is Cam, and it's not Cam Popplestone. It's Cam. His avatar is the blue blazer. It's completely different. So,
right.
You know, the Midnight Rider is not Lee. It's completely different. But that's what those were, and we had the ideas there because like a new character hadn't really established himself, and someone else who hadn't like we had those ones kind of backed out. That's what CM Carlito was. We had him as a secret. And because he hadn't really made himself known, but it would be kind of cool to be like, oh, a veteran, here he comes. And that one was exciting, the way that character worked, and really worked out with the timing of when he came in as well. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
I'll skip down to the other one, Bane the Bissa. Completely new character, new person, first time doing predictions. That's also good. It's like, you get the one like, oh god, he's here. And this one it was, who is this? And with them using Drew McIntyre as a base, because RGX kind of freed it up to use Raven instead, Drew McIntyre comes out and has a big standoff with you and Bastion, because you guys were there, and it just works out timing-wise. And that's my goal, to get people over immediately. But do they deserve it going forward? I don't know. We'll see how the points go in actual matches, but I got a bit of a free-for-all with the Rumble, so that was a good one. That was a fun character to kind of figure out with this kind of spiritual background, but also just like, I'm going to kick your head off. But Competitor X, this was the big one. This was Matt Zion. And I'm pretty sure nobody guessed that. Like,
which one?
Competitor X, Matt Zion.
Oh, yeah, nobody did. That was pretty dope. Andy's Hangman Page, so like, that's cool.
Yeah. He was also, it was almost going to be Rene Dupree, but Hangman's better. Hangman was better for it. Yeah, just reached out to Matt and said, hey, you want to come sign up? He's like, yeah, sure. Like, we're going to keep you as a secret. You can be our Lesnar, because he said he'll show up here and there. So you never know when he'll be there. Kind of works with the cowboy style for Adam Page. Who knows when he'll be there, but it's going to be what he does. So yeah, that was a fun thing to keep secret and reveal during the live chat. In that, and hear people like, what? No, what? Really? And just the chat kind of exploding at him being there. Like, nobody expected it. It's been 2 years since my character took him out. And of course, he came out. Random draw. I come out after my opponent RGX, so we ended our match with a brawl. And then Kamika comes out, then Competitor X. That's why we were losing our minds, because we wanted to have Matt face me in the Rumble at some point. We were hoping for that. And he came out almost back-to-back with me? Are you kidding? So yeah. It was a hard one to keep secret, but also really easy, because I kind of made a zero hints thing. We're like, oh my god, it's going to be something reckless. You'll never expect it. No, that's too much of a hint, right? So we avoided that. But yeah, Payne is the winner. We'll come back to you, Payne. We're going to go through the Rumble itself now. It's only, I mean, how long? It's only been about 19 minutes. Let's dive into the Rumble itself. We do have, like I said, Payne won the Rumble. He had 43 points. But the card itself had Casey Warden defeating the Arbiter 35-28. Sebastian Escobar defeated Josh Dionio 37-28, very similar. And then a tag match. These are the three big marquee ones we had. Simple Creatures, Modstep Chappers, and JJ Rocky against FBU, Bastion, BeerMeJesus, and the GMSG. 100-80. Just so you know, the GMSG was upset with me because I so hyped up you guys as one of the best possible teams there could be, and he said I cursed you. So, there you go.
We need to. We're finding our footing. We're finding our footing.
Well, and you know what? You guys aren't a unit. You've never really been that kind of team. Like you've had your versions of connections together, but those three are destructive. Those three are what they do. So they did really good.
Yeah. Tip my cap to them.
Yeah, but New Warden beat Old Warden, the Arbiter, and Escobar beat JD. But that's El Rey versus JD. If people think back to JRPL, so Escobar winning and doing really well, really good. You wonder how Casey Warden could have done when you look at it, because he wasn't even in the Rumble. No creatures were in the Rumble, so GMSG wasn't either. So there's a few names that did well that weren't in there. Scrolling through, Broken Nerd beat James Black by a point, and that was kind of funny because I didn't forget about James Black during the Rumble, as ironic as it is, but I kept having him pair off. I wanted him to lay low till someone big came out, and I figured Nerd's perfect for that. And then I realized he faced Nerd earlier in the night and went, oops, happy accident. So yeah. He won that one. I beat RGX. I got the win. OVS beat The Reaction. That's a big one, these new guys. Angela Grace and Roman Pierce beating Luke Gray and Tino. It was only by 5 points, but really, really good outcome there. Redhead beat Alexander McKennedy by 4 points. James Costner, who does not suck, beat Junction, who in this case did. And we've got Lexi Briggs and Monkey Bong, ending in a no contest. Monkey Kong, yeah. And you can see the avatar pictures now for some of the people who weren't in the Rumble, like Kylie Ray and Space Monkey. I think that's actually the wrestler's name. Ash beat Kano Mac. I'm wondering, who's that? Because it should be Legit Boss. Redo. Kano Mac is there. There's Cam in his mask. Never seen him before in your life. Versus Chef Urban, LJ, and the Alpha Dog. Kier 1 defeated Clay Briggs. Kier 1 actually signed up too late to be eligible for the Rumble. Otherwise, he probably would have been like competitor U. We'd keep him a secret too. But yeah, he came in against Clay Briggs.
It's good that he's back.
I like he's back. I'm glad. So many names back. John and CT Martin against Smooth Rock and Kurt Cult. Kurt Cult, I believe, is actually Green Machine previously.
Yep.
And Smooth Rock, god damn it. Sorry, I'm James Blacking you. I'm forgetting. He was someone before as well. I forget who.
I honestly don't remember this one, and I'm gonna get upset that I don't.
Yeah, it was. I'm still getting the hang of it, guys. Orstella beat Rate Wrestle. Payne beat Competitor X. That was Matt Zion. We probably should update that now. But Lucian Hollis defeated Cammy Cat. Actually, we're not going to update that because in the write-up, it's revealed, like, you don't know who it is in those earlier matches, so that the Rumble reveal is, oh my god. But yeah, Hollis beat Cammy Cat. Detrick Cyrus beat Wookie, which is a big win. Wookie is consistent. Yeah. We've always mentioned that with him. Ralentando beat Jason Blades. Killmonger 8, he's got an 8 in there, beat Competitor Z. Buckhead 5 defeated Ace High. The Midnight Rider beat Blue Monkey G. Mad Elite Titan beat Competitor V. Wesley Shadow beat CJ Hawk. Of all of that, I know I went through it very quickly, forgive me, Beer Me, but anybody standing out to you as far as surprises? Like Titan beating Carlito is pretty big, I feel.
Yeah. It's not a surprise, but yeah, I'm kind of high on OVS anyway, but them beating the Reaction, that's really good. Let me see, what else was there? Sebastian Escobar beating JD, I think, was kind of big as well.
That's like, when you think about like when AEW started, how there's big matches, who's going to win? Oh, this guy, okay, they're getting behind him. That's what that feels like. That Escobar got the win, you're like, okay, yeah, that's he should get that. But not to take anything away from JD, because JD is going to be a threat forever. It's just cool that so is Escobar now. That's what that is. He's up there with him, I feel. And Casey Warden beating the Arbiter. I mean, you can talk ring rust on Arbiter.
Yeah.
But that's still big. Casey Warden beat him, so yeah.
Yeah, that's big too. There was one more. There was a couple I was going to say. Which one? James Black only lost by 1 point to Broken Nerd, so that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. That's huge.
And Yeah, and James Costner just putting in work to show he doesn't suck is
Yep.
pretty good.
Yep. Also, the Eric Young avatar I fully appreciate as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, we'll come down here because we do have achievements. They are different than any achievements, really. They're more like trophies in the sense that it's just you get one, it's worth a point. Well, trophies have point scales, too. These are just worth a point. You get like there's not really a point system to it. It's not a competitive nature of I want more achievement points than others. It's just kind of things like badges to collect is more what it is. So 55 superstars. Everybody on the card, you got your first FPL appearance. There you go. 30, obviously, got the Rumble participant one. And the way that goes, Payne won the Rumble, so only he gets that. 25 people won their matches, so 25 got it. CT also, though, got Ménage à Trois. He won a triple threat. So he's not starting with a slide. He went an hour in the Rumble and won his match. Just going to turn things around. That's good. We've got Angela Grace, Roman Pierce, Mod Step, Chappers, and JD Rocky. So OVS and the Creatures members winning their first tag match. And then McKennedy and Redhead getting Have a Good Night. Win Match of the Night honors. And yes, that means Redhead got the first ever match of the night after getting like a dozen in a JRPL.
Yeah.
Starting with
Sounds
one
about right.
out of the gate. But so did McKennedy, so that's good too. So now, I'm not going to go through the full results write-up, which you see on your screen here. Please go to our Discord, link below. Go over to results, click on this link, and read it. Because we put a hell of a lot of work into here. We put so much into this. The kickoff show, if you're on the kickoff show, you get little bits of write-up here and there. The main show, though, you get full match write-ups. And there's angles as well. But forgive me, Barry, I kind of talked over you there. You were going to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we going to talk about the GM?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, I was going to say, this is the main card. The show opened with the GM being revealed. Is it who you thought it would be?
No, I didn't know who it was going to be honest with you. I really didn't. And then it turned out to be, who I didn't know it was going to be. But,
Redhead 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Red. Yep. So that's a thing. We have an authority figure. It is Redhead 12, who, storyline-wise, is my character's girlfriend. Not that anything's going to be good for me or bad for me from that, but of course it will. There's like that's how you do storytelling. But the idea there was we didn't want to have the four of us, GMSG, CT, Red, and myself, be the storyline figureheads, simply because our characters will never get along. We mentioned that at length in both Trenches and War Room. It would not work. Like, CT and I are just hate each other, kind of. Red and I get along, obviously, but Red hates the other two, and GMSG and I want to kill each other. We're not going to work. So what do we do? Well, Red works because it still is a member of the creative, so can get that inside info to do that, and have an actual character do it instead of just kind of an anonymous board, which works too, but it's a little more fun to have someone who can actually go in there and back it up. So that was the idea there with Red. So how do you feel about the GM being Red?
I'm cool with it.
The character, when you put it that way, like that's the person running things.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a little bit scary in that sense, but I think it'll be a ride for sure. Hell of a ride.
That is actually one thing that we didn't do. I was going to have a moment during the Rumble, and Red actually suggested it too. When I got eliminated, Red was going to come out, or even when Lee and I were running Roughshod, because we didn't really establish the fact that we are together. Like, that didn't come up in Red's promo or in mine, because it's kind of a thing. So I kind of neglect not doing that. So if you're watching this wondering about that, yeah, characters are together. It's a couple. There's some bad blood history going back like 3 years. So, things got better. They're both bad guys, though, so it's fine. But there's history there if you want to go. We'll probably recap some stuff at some point as the matches build and we move forward. We'll have information there, obviously. But, yeah, the characters are together. So when you see them together, that's why it makes sense. That's why my Discord handle right now says GM's favorite. So, but yeah, so we've got that. It was a hell of a lot of fun. We've got Lexi Briggs and Monkey Bong, Costner and Junction, Red and McKennedy. And if you read through these, you're going to get instant insight into these characters, which is something that we want to make sure is something well beyond the fact of, yeah, you got more points than the other and you're advancing up. Because it's not really about just who gets the most points at the end and you win a thing. It's not that at all. It's more a case of, yeah, you won, and it is quality of wins, because, like you said, Nerd beat Black by a point. That does not devalue Black in my eyes. That elevates him. Yeah, he didn't win.
Right.
He didn't win, so he's got to win something else to kind of get back on track, but it keeps him in the mix. We're all in agreement on that for the booking. So, if that's where you're going and that's what you're doing, you're in line and you're kind of feeding through the possibilities there. And as you do that, you advance in story like you would on wrestling. And you'll work your way towards main events, off the main card, stuff like that. I'll tell you right now, people who lost on the pre-show, you're probably going to be on the pre-show again because you're there. But that doesn't mean we won't put you on the main card anyway, because if something makes sense, there you go, opportunity. The other key part of it is this was a main show. WWE and NXT are main shows. Those ones count. The AEW and Impact ones and Ring of Honor are house shows. They don't count towards your points and standings. They do count toward your record, just for the fact that you can say, I've got this many wins, but it's different. So, as you win on the ones that matter, yeah, you get elevated. And we are more than happy to elevate those who belong it. And give you a shot. I mean, BeerMe, your favorite and mine, JJ Rocky, is the prime example of that from last year. Like,
Yeah.
he got elevated into the main event world title shot simply because, I mean, who can stop him? He's beating people above where he should be. Can he keep doing that?
It was a good run. It was a good run.
Yeah, and he's already off to a good start. Thank God he wasn't in the Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so bummed that he wasn't. I'm still sad to this day, but
I know, right?
we'll get there. We'll get there. He'll be in next time probably.
Maybe next year.
So yeah, and the idea there was stuff like my match with RGX ended pretty much with a mess. It was inconclusive because we knew at that point we were back to back in the Rumble. Well, all right, we're gonna keep fighting. That's the thing.
So you ate a chair.
Yeah, exactly. Now, and that went with his promo too. He even said, "I don't need anything to beat you. I want to beat you straight up 1-on-1." And then when he got the best of me, hit me with the chair. It fed into that. So we want to use your character stuff. We want to use your promos and incorporate that in if we can. So when he did that, it's like, all right, now it's on because I can brawl with the best of them. And we'll see where things go from there. We might have information later tonight about where things might go. I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, you don't know. They didn't give you any matches. The guys, no, okay, good. So I have the matches. So yeah, we'll see. We'll get there. Scrolling through, if you want to see about our favorite, it's JJ Rocky. He's in the FBU versus Simple Creatures match. The creatures, BeerMe, you shouldn't have bet against yourself. You should have bet on the creatures. Like
I know, right?
Even against you get, yeah. JD and Escobar had an awesome match. The Arbiter and Warden had the kind of main event. And then, the 2021 Royal Rumble. And this is on what, page, I think 12? And then it goes. I'm scrolling. Sorry, it was on page 20, and there's 34 pages overall. So as you see, I'm still scrolling, and it's still Rumble. It's the whole thing. There it is. And we end with Pain winning at the end. And
yeah,
we've talked at length about different stuff. The idea that he points to the sign, immediately I realized he should stab the sign. Right?
Yes.
Because those who don't know,
exactly,
he got a belt, the Top Lock title, I believe it was. Forgive me for forgetting for a second. And he stabbed it. Real good. And with a switchblade. Butterfly knife. So I realized he's got to stab the sign. That's his thing. That's what we got to do with it. And I had him throw it. And right in the middle of the eyes of the skull on the WrestleMania sign. And he's pointing from there. It's perfect. And he has now won his way to the main event of WrestleMania. And I know you're happy about that just like I am. We're both bummed we're not, obviously. But he's making it. He's there. And now,
congratulations to Pain.
Big time congratulations. BeerMe picked you. The world champ said you were going to win, and you did. So now we're not fully revealing yet where it goes from there, because that's half of the main event of WrestleMania. Remember, though, WrestleMania doesn't give you the title. It gives you the shot at SummerSlam where you get the title. So he's won match 1 to qualify. Mania is the big deal, and next year's Rumble, obviously, you'll be the contender for the title at Mania. But we still need to get another contender for Mania. So something's going to come up between now and then to determine Payne's opponent. The winner of that match will go on to SummerSlam, and then something else will give us our other qualifier to face there. So Payne might not even make it to SummerSlam. He still has to win at Mania to get the SummerSlam, and if he wins there, he wins the title.
Right.
That's not convoluted, but it's we want to make it obviously where it's you earned it is really it. Like, and everybody's gonna have obviously not the equal version of that because we're not gonna have 3 more Rumbles to get qualifiers, but there are gonna be big events to go through and earn your spot of similar difficulty. What was the term? Suitable competition is a term they used back in the day for that with WWE. When Lex and Brett were co-winners, they had to have suitable competition with Brett versus Owen. So that kind of thing. So Payne's on the way. Here comes the Payne, right? So.
Yep. Payne train.
Now, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be a title at WrestleMania, because if you go back and scroll all the way up, this is going to take me a second. During the GM speech by Redhead, Red announced there will be a championship decided at WrestleMania. And as I go to it here, it will be the FPL Canadian Championship. That will be the first ever championship decided in FPL history, and it will be at WrestleMania. So,
dope.
The Canadian title. How do you feel about that being this? As the last person to technically hold the JRPL one that I made up.
That's true. Of course it would be a Canadian title. I mean, you're Canadian and your girlfriend's the GM, so it makes perfect sense.
That's the story. But it's all part of the plan. I'll just tell you that right now. It's the mid-card title. It's like the Intercontinental, so we went with a regional, like U.S., Canadian, North American, right? Those kind of things. We went with
That's
Canadian,
cool.
and the idea is the technical side of things, like the workhorse, which is a very Canadian thing. When you think of like Brett and Lance Storm and my character even, that's where that goes. So that's what that is. So it's not going to be only defended in Canada like the old one we both had, Bear Me, but
right.
But yeah, so it's still like you're not getting the world title, but you might be the first ever champion in FPL history. That's still a cool thing. Like there's layers to this. We got this. We're hoping it all works out and lines up into something that's cool. So yeah. So that's that announced during the write up. In case you missed it, designs for those are coming. You'll see what those belts will look like. We're gonna have ideas for those as well. We'll see. But Bear Me, how about we look ahead to the next event?
I'm ready.
The next event, which has a name now. It's TakeOver Vengeance Day, which is kind of weird.
I like
not gonna
that.
lie.
Yeah.
It's weird because like Valentine's Day, but it's using the old Vengeance logo.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Yeah.
I was hoping for St. Valentine's Day Massacre, like the old In Your House, but that's good. Of course,
that would have been cool.
I'm on the logo because it's heart and it's on Valentine's Day, so it's Bret Hart, my avatar. So there it is. We do have an official theme song. If you click on that, it actually should take you to the theme. I think I'm in the edit mode, so it's not going to work. But Love Bites, So Do I by Hailstorm is the official theme song. Just a cool thematic thing that we do. And it's in 2 weeks. It's actually in a week and a half. Almost a week. Really.
Yeah.
We're recording this on the 4th, and it's on the 14th, so 10 days. So,
Yep.
But let's talk matches. So you don't know any of these. So let's start.
I don't know a damn thing.
Let's start with these 3 matches we're going to announce right now are pretty big based on what happened on Sunday. How's this sound, Bear Me? You want to know what Payne gets to do after winning the Rumble?
Yeah.
Who do you think he's going to face? Wild guess. Anybody in mind?
Sebastian Escobar.
That's right. You got it. He's facing
Oh,
the runner-up of the Rumble, Sebastian Escobar versus Payne, 1-on-1.
I like it.
Yeah, because you saw how Payne,
Not gonna lie.
and that's a happy accident because Payne and Escobar didn't really encounter each other much during the Rumble, even though they were both there for a while. But Payne capitalized on moments and got him out. That's all you got to do. Can he actually beat him though? We don't know. So
Don't know.
that is immediately an interesting, awesome storyline there. So that one is official for TakeOver. You're going to be interested in this one. Let's see. I need to actually check something quick because I think I typed the wrong name and almost said the wrong thing. No, that's what it's there. I'm gonna run with it. If that's not the right name, we're gonna fix that. Cause I'm like, huh? Oh yeah, okay. We have Vitamin, does not suck. James Costner facing Buck N5.
Ooh, that's a good one. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Former stablemates, former teammates.
I honestly forgot that was happening. I was like, wait, what? That's the okay. So yeah, if that's wrong, that's my fault. And we're recording this live, quote unquote, and we'll go from there. But yeah, Vitamin and Buck are going to go at it. Sorry, Costner and Buck are going to face off. And one more match here. It is the main event that we will announce for TakeOver. I almost said Valentine's Day Massacre.
Vengeance Day?
Vengeance Day. Vengeance Day is a weird. I know it's like Valentine's supposed to be the opposite. It's the violence of it, but you may as well call it Violence Day. It's a weird name. But at least it's not because it's called TakeOver 33, right? Thank God.
Yeah.
The main event, RGX put out a challenge to a few of us. He said there's the three of them with the Stone Collective. Kind of. Because the Stone Collective is himself and Rate Wrestle. Back in the JRPL, it was himself and Orstella. And that got really interesting and kind of fell apart a little bit. They're not a trio. But RGX threw out a challenge wanting to face myself, Red, and the Midnight Rider, Infinity. The management did hear that, and however, the GM has decided that it's Valentine's Day. That's date night. So basically, it's going to be the two of us, match of the night, Redhead and myself, against RGX, and because I wrestle him a bit and want to see what he can really do, Rate Wrestle. So
Nice.
it's the current Stone Collective versus match of the night in the main event, and it's date night. I mean, come on, it's Valentine's Day, right?
What can go wrong,
Yeah.
right?
So Orstella and the Rider are not involved. I'm sure they'll be chaperoning in some way. But if it wasn't Valentine's Day, yeah, it might have been all a 3-on-3. But it's Valentine's Day. Come on. No, we don't want third wheels. We don't even want these guys. Maybe talk to Red to get out of it. I don't know. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that is the main event. And I'll be honest right there. It's not just because, Scott's main event of the first whatever. It's Valentine's Day and there's a gimmick thing we're going
Yeah.
with.
It works. It's
Yeah.
a story.
We're doing it. But yeah, we're going to have fun with that. And we'll have more information on that one probably next week, because next week we'll have the rest of the card because the show will be that weekend. Bear me, it's happening. We're back at it already. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then I think coming up shortly after that, we'll probably have another show.
Yeah. We don't have an official date for the Elimination Chamber still somehow. We believe it's going to be February 21st, but they might bump it. So it's looking like it's a week after TakeOver, and then Revolution's a week after that, and then Fastlane's a month after, or 2-3 weeks. So we're not quite sure how that's going to work, but when that's all solidified, we'll go. We've got the card we're working on already, trying to figure out who goes where, and get that road to WrestleMania. But yeah, next week we're going to run down the rest of the TakeOver card, and then the week after that we'll look at the results of TakeOver and potentially announce the entirety of the Elimination Chamber, which will be insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, well.
But we're back at it. I'm excited. How about you?
I am stoked.
It's
Seriously.
it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, we are back. I am excited. Obviously, I've been rambling. I think for nearly 40 minutes. Bear me. I don't want to keep talking over you, or at least talking and you don't get to say anything. Forgive me, man.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
But what else do you want to say? Anything you want to say here about what happened or what's coming up or how you
Well,
did or anything?
didn't,
maybe
didn't do,
maybe not.
Didn't
Maybe
do,
not.
didn't do so hot. Didn't do so hot. It's them Charlotte matches, man. They get me. But
The one you should have bet on. Like, for those who don't know, BeerMeJesus does not like the booking of Charlotte Flair. The fact that it's mostly based on her name. He doesn't hate her, but it's all based on what they do with her. So the one time that he's happy she lost is a time that she shouldn't have, and it cost him. So it's like, God.
Exactly.
He posted one thing that's like, the one time I'm sad she lost. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And now we all know why she got that title, because they're counting it into her reigns of titles. So that's...
Oh, yeah.
That's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's more decorated than any other woman, I think, in history at this point already. And she's still got like a 10-year career ahead of her, so yeah.
I know.
She'll be the nature boy with that many, yeah.
Right, but again, hats off to the creatures. They killed it. I'd never win on the first show, so it just happens.
There you go. That's to tell you that when you're at that high level of competition with opponents like that, one match can cost you everything. You need all those points, and if you bet real high on the wrong match and you lose it, they're gone. And wait till you get to stipulations where you get negative points. That's going to be something you guys are going to see as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think if you guys didn't lose that match, or didn't lose those points for that match, you might have won. I think CT literally would have won the Rumble had that one went his way. Like, it was something that, like, a one bonus. Someone was number 14, and we were predicting who was number... No, someone came at number 15, and he predicted to be 14. Like, stuff like that was just like, no. So, that's all it takes. But that's why I keep saying this, and you can vouch for this as well. If you guys lost, like James Black, we'll never forget your name again, by a point, or even if you lost by 20 points, like it
don't matter.
The FPU
I mean,
lost
it does,
to the Creatures
but it doesn't.
20.
You know,
you can bounce back. And as long as I'm involved in it, I want to have it where it's actually a good, like, redemption turnaround and stuff. Like, yeah, you might not get the focus, but when you get that win, we know when you're back on track, and we're always watching, hoping you do well. We want everybody to do well, obviously, but not everyone can. People have to lose. But we're not going to punish you for losing. So if you lose, don't get discouraged. I know you will be, but you'll get through it. You'll be fine. Because BeerMe lost the first show and was world champion for a year, 2 years later. So
it's true. And everybody just buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride to see how wild Rumble is. So it's going to be a good time.
The one thing that makes me laugh a little bit here is not every show is going to be as crazy as the Rumble. Because there's not going to be a Rumble on every show. So yeah, the next one might be a little more low-key comparatively. But that's what to expect. The big moments, the epic stuff, the feedback. I'll kind of end my thoughts here with this. The feedback that we've gotten in the Discord about people saying how epic it was with the matches and the Rumble. And yeah, I'll toot my heart on the Rumble. I wrote it. But it was with input by people, because I had notes coming in saying, I'd like this to happen, I want to be eliminated this way, or get eliminated by this person, or eliminate this person. I tried to work in everything. And of course the team, we were doing stuff live when we were drawing names and picking the order. We all had ideas and input. It is not a one-man thing. It was a team effort with everybody. The amount of praise, or just at least almost thanks, like, oh, this was awesome, great job, guys. Like, that meant everything to me. To see that and the excitement over it. It's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to actually do it and cross that hurdle. And when we did, like, I put it out there and I went to CT and the guys was like, it's out. It's real. Huh. We talked about it for months, and then actually incorporating it and doing something that we'd never done before with the full write-up. That we never tackled that personally, so that was insane. And yeah, if you guys want to look at the behind the scenes of it, we do have a war room that's going to be coming up more towards probably the end of the month, or maybe mid-month. We haven't decided, which is why I'm saying it that way. But that'll be looking at more things like kind of let you know what we do. Like I said, I'm doing the writing and we're all doing the booking and the graphics are CT does that and Red does a lot of promotional stuff with the Twitter and things and BeerMeJesus most of the technical stuff along with CT. Like we all have our hands in it. None of us could do this alone. Well, I mean, we could, but we don't want to. We want to do it together. We're having fun with it, so we can't do it alone. And like I said, BeerMe, can't do this show without you. So happy to have you on here. Looking forward to this insane ride on. I almost said Frontline, but that's the network now. On In the Trenches.
Right.
So, how do you feel that we're back? You said buckle up. Any closing words to the people? 'Cause I pretty much said thanks. I can't top that. So.
Yeah, I just want to say I hope everybody sticks around and yeah, everybody have a good time because we're gonna have a good time.
Stick around, spread the word. New names welcome, obviously. You never know what can happen. You might be going for the Rumble and main event of Mania next year. Probably facing against BeerMe, who's the world champion. That seems to be how he goes. So we'll see where that is. Like I said, you're the champ. You won it. You never lost it. You had it for longer than a year. As far as I'm concerned, you'll be the champ. At least you'll be crowned one in SummerSlam. So you got till August to figure that out. And if you win it, I'll just keep calling you champ anyway. So there you go.
There we go. Or I could be the people's champ, you know? Maybe.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Maybe you need to make up your own title like I did. Maybe.
Right?
Maybe. Or just bring out the Canadian title that you have. Because you still have my belt for that. And then when we crown a Canadian champion, you're like, no, I'm the Canadian champion. And it's Razor and Shawn in a ladder match holding up both Canadian titles.
Yes. 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 That would be great. That would be amazing.
All right. I just figured out what your future storyline is going to be. See, that's as simple as it can be. Not saying that we're going to do it, but that's pretty damn good. That's pretty good.
Work.
I like it. So we'll see. The guys will learn about that when they see this. It'll be fun. But yeah, like, favorite, subscribe, spread the word, retweet it, let everybody know we are here, we are running strong, we are going crazy. Obviously, if you've watched this, you know that. But we're having fun, and that's the key part of it. And if you're not having fun, step away, walk away. Come back when you want to have fun. We want you to have fun. If there's problems, we want to help out. We want to fix it. So, yeah. So, champ, let's reconvene next week when we recap the upcoming event. You don't recap those; you preview those. We'll preview TakeOver. We'll have the full match, and odds are the guys are going to give you some matches to announce. That usually is how that goes.
Sounds good.
Yeah, well, we're getting back in the swing of things. Now that we're back there, you'll have those too, so it'll be fun. But thanks again, everybody. Like, favorite, subscribe. I'll say it again. I'm going to say it over and over and over and over and over. We are back. We are on the front line. We are in the trenches. See you next time.